Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. In this episode, me and Scary Jerry are going to be taking on 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Jerry, you got a plot for us?
Yeah, it's really a simple plot. Four teenagers growing up on the same street. All of a sudden start having bad nightmares, all dreaming about the same guy, about a burnt killer who wields a clawed glove of leather death. It's the infamous Freddy Krueger. I don't know who on this earth doesn't know Freddy Krueger. I think next to Santa Claus and Hulk Hogan, you can't say you don't know who Freddy Krueger is. Infamous. He really brought in the 1980s horror. I mean, it's 1984, so your Jason Voorhees didn't come along until a little bit later. It was still, there was Jason, but the hockey mask influenced Jason. We had Michael Myers, we had Leatherface, but the quintessential will always be Freddy Krueger. The name paints a picture in your head of that guy, the great Robert Englund. This is an amazing movie. One, just because of the kills, not just of the story about dying in your dreams, but you think about it, serial killers and monsters at that time would just stab you. But Freddy Krueger, he was unique in his mayhem, a little silly.
Man, this movie, it's a classic for me. I love it. Saw it when I was young. Scared shit out of me. I believe I told Jerry earlier, I was watching it before we filmed this just to refresh my memory, and it scared shit out of me again. When Nancy's talking to the mirror.
This is just a dream. This isn't real. This is just a dream. He isn't real. He isn't real.
I'm 33 and I've seen the movie a million times, but it still gets me every time. All you see is that face and those hands and hear that voice, and it sends shivers down your spine. And it'll always hold a place in my heart for that reason. What about you, Jerry? When did you first see it? What thoughts did you have?
Right. Freddy, he kills you in your dreams. That's really what should be on the top of the line and stuff.
Yeah.
This is a guy who died a horrible death in a fire. He was cooked alive in a shack. And now he is attacking the kids in their dreams, and this is something different. This is the supernatural.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about a guy going around with a butcher knife. We are talking about a guy who has died and is now still getting revenge, kind of deal for the kids of Elm Street.
Yeah.
But the kids of Elm Street, Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp. The other two, I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
The other two victims, Tina and Rod. I can't remember Johnny Depp's name. And then Nancy.
Yeah.
Glenn. Johnny Depp's name was Glenn. The three deaths of the kids were really unique. Like we said, Tina, they turned the room upside down. They had that horrible scene of her being dragged up the wall, and then she's upside down, and her boyfriend Rod is sitting there yelling.
Yeah.
Rod, he was hung in his prison cell. Yeah, I would go Tina. Tina, that whole scene of her, starting on the floor and then kind of like spinning around, and you not seeing Freddy drag her up to the ceiling. That's got to be me. But I mean, there's even like small creepy things in there, like Tina in the body bag at school when Nancy accidentally falls asleep in class.
Yep.
And then just the eeriness of Nancy.
Yeah.
That's great scare.
Yeah.
Just eeriness, and then the great "Where's your pass?" Screw your pass.
Yeah.
Heather Langenkamp is great. She's like, these the kids in the movie feel like high schoolers, and you also get to watch Nancy grow as like, the little bookworm, nerdy type of girl into, a badass basically by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Where she's got that cool, like, stressed white streak.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, I could talk forever about this movie. This movie is this movie is bar none like one of the greats. It is up there with like a Dracula and a Frankenstein. Is the original and Nightmare on Elm Street. So, but
yeah. Like I mentioned, I watched this a lot over the years. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason today, a little bit of the writing kind of caught my ear, I guess, for the first time. And it just really, I don't know. I don't understand some of the choices of words that they used or lines. There's one line where Tina's looking out the window because she hears Freddy, and she says, "Who do you think you are, whoever you are?" And it didn't sit right with me. I was like, what the fuck is that? All right, whatever. There's more lines. I think you mentioned the one earlier. What was it?
Quit that dreaming or cut them fingernails.
Yeah. The mom tells Tina to cut her fingernails and stop having those kinds of dreams. Like what? What? But whatever.
It's filler.
Yeah.
Wes Craven just wanted to get to the cow's blood. Gallons and gallons. I do know in the documentary they were talking about when all that blood, because it was on a rotating set, when all that blood went, what we think is up, was actually down.
Okay.
And then it started teeter-tottering.
Yeah.
The blood, and then it started flipping over. I would just love to see the behind the scenes of all of these moments of just all that blood just gushing around. It must have been amazing.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
But yeah, like you said, there's just those great lines and stuff. The mother at the end of the movie was like, "Boy, you sure know when you bottomed out."
They say you bottomed out when you can't remember the night before.
What? Wait. She worked on that same empty bottle of vodka the whole movie, and it was very clearly empty. Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah, they probably had to do that and stuff, just so she wouldn't end up drinking it. That wasn't an acting. That was really the actress and stuff. I kid. The mom in the movie is that that great mother, authoritarian figure. So she goes irrational. Bars on the windows, locks on the doors.
the one thing that like just baffles me is at the end when they're like in Glenn's room because he just got sucked into the bed. That sheriff is standing outside watching Nancy's house, and there's clearly shit going down in Nancy's house. Like, she's screaming for help. There's an explosion and all kinds of shit going on in this house. And then that sheriff, and then that dumb cop goes, maybe I should go tell the sheriff about this. And then, like, Wanda, like, what? What? She's been screaming for you to help her and get her dad. And you're just like, derp derp derp, my shift's almost over. Ice cream is good. It are go good with beer. Like, what is happening? Like, but I digress. It's still a great movie. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That I would coin on, like, incompetent cops, where it's just like, I don't know what's going on in this town. They just gave me this badge and stuff, you know, where the cop has to be oblivious to, what do you mean he's coming into your dreams and getting you, you know, that small town cop, you know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, there are silly things in the movie. Mine will always be like when Freddy Krueger's long arms are extended and like they look like marionette dolls and stuff, and they look a little wonky and stuff, and I always giggle at that.
Oh, yeah.
Or she rips Freddy's face off, and he makes that like cackle. You know, it's silly, but it's still terrifying and stuff.
And
you know?
especially at that time, it was terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the dialogue, you know, is I mean, 84. We got to keep going. We got to keep saying it because it's real. You know, this is 1984 and stuff. They were just trying to get to the good stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Blood and guts. So they kept like writing this silly dialogue. But where some of it's silly, some of it is really good. When Nancy calls her dad and says, listen, Daddy, I'm going to go into the dream and I need you to be here at exactly this time to arrest the guy who killed Glenn or something. It's that long speech she gives. And it is really good because you can hear the kind of like her, I hope this works, you know, where she wants to give up because of Glenn and she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's definitely...
So there are those moments of dialogue. Yeah. Another really good one would be the speech. I believe the kid in the classroom.
Yeah.
He's reading like Hamlet or Macbeth, but he's reading it so weird because she's asleep. She's in the dream, and he's whispering it. And it really is terrifying, you know. I believe the last lines are "because I have bad dreams" or something, which is just it's really cool. But also this movie has a lot of like special guests, I guess you could call it. One of the deputies is the guy from the Ed Gein movie that was released to video back in the early 2000s. You got the voice of Roger Rabbit as the doctor that's trying to help her get to sleep, you know. And Robert Shea, the producer of the movie, his sister plays the teacher. And I know there's someone else I'm getting off the top of my head of just side characters.
Robert Shea himself plays the news broadcaster or something in this one. And like you mentioned, he's the founder of New Line Cinema. So, yeah, he makes his way into all of these movies. But
yeah, he's in every one of these movies. If we do all of the Freddy series, I think he's in every one. I don't know if he's in Freddy vs. Jason or in New Nightmare.
No,
I mean, not New Nightmare as in Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
That new nightmare of a movie that was the new remake. But yeah, no,
So,
I don't think he was in those two. But yeah, the original 6 or whatever, yeah, those ones he's in. How many are the originals? 6. Yeah, there's 6 originals, right?
7,
7?
including New Nightmare.
Well, yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
But Jacob,
Yes.
what would you give the movie?
Ooh, since Jerry's changed the rating scale from 10 bags of popcorn down to 5, this actually makes it harder for me. But I think I'm going to have to give it. I don't know. Little Jacob, child Jacob says 4.5. Adult Jacob says 4.
Okay.
Jerry?
Yeah, I'm going actually 4.5.
Yeah.
Right down the line, 4.5. It's not, like I said, yeah, 4 bags for gore, 4 bags for overall cast,
Mm-hmm.
they're, and a half because it is Freddy Krueger, and Robert Englund, is an icon in himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Freddy Krueger. Like I said, Santa Claus, Hulk Hogan, and Freddy Krueger, they're just those symbols that you can take a picture out and somebody in Eastern Papua New Guinea would go, that's Freddy Krueger. I know him, So, 4.5 bags.
All right. 4.5 bags.
Yes, sir.
I need to come up with some sort of. Well, fuck it. I'll tell you after. All right. Well, there you have it. Me and Scary Jerry have rated this movie, and those ratings, you can take them to the bank. If you haven't seen it, you're an asshole, and if you've seen it, let us know what you thought, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Oh, and P.S. one last thing. Nancy with her little coffee pot turned on under her bed while her mom was standing right next to it, talking to her. Not believable. Love
Why not? Her mother's an alcoholic. She can't smell the coffee. She can't hear the bubbling. She's just like, hey, Nancy.
I think it was honestly.
That's right, change his score.
I think it was honestly the absurdity of there being a second coffee pot in her room. Like, her mom takes 2 mugs and a coffee pot off her TV, and this bitch pulls one out from under her bed that's on. The coffee's already hot, and her mom was leaning down right next to it and couldn't fucking tell. But yeah, other than that, love the movie. So, all right, assholes, go watch this movie. Let us know what you think, and stay safe out there, guys. You're not saying bye? You're not gonna say bye?
Oh, bye. I thought you had picked it off already.
No, I just realized.